Good morning, everyone. My furry crew is all ready to go this morning. And I hope that you are enjoying your weekend so far. Happy Sunday instead of the normal Saturday. Glad that we could still be together. Let's see who's joined us. Oh my goodness, she's like in my lap. Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Susan. Glad you're both here. If anything goes wrong while we're doing class this morning, feel free just to put a little comment in the chat so that I know that something is awry. Good morning, Kayla. Yay. But otherwise, this is going to be about our hour, just about an hour, feel good, hopefully movement class this morning. Even if life doesn't necessarily feel good, or even if it's hard to just kind of be still and alone with yourself on your mat this morning, right? Yoga doesn't always feel good. I invite you and encourage you to have the movements that we take this morning be that little dose of feel good for yourself, just sort of like a puppy dog sitting in your lap. Those of you that were with us at Thunder Island yesterday heard me talk about a podcast I listened to on the way to the Gorge yesterday, where Jane Goodall, good morning, Howard. Good morning, Jessica. Jane Goodall was talking, I was just talking about this year and the pandemic, about being human and about chimps, but mostly about the pandemic. And was just talking about how, as humans and as chimpanzees, as creatures, we carry our emotions and our feelings and our stresses in our bodies, right? And I think we all can feel that sometimes, right? You stop and you realize during a stressful workday how tense you are, how tight the shoulders are. And she just said something that was really poignant. It was like, how can we be the best version of ourselves when our body's not feeling good or when our body's carrying all this heaviness? And so this morning, as you move through your practice, I invite you to just take the poses and the shapes that you need this morning to feel a little bit more like the best version of yourself in your body, so that as you head off today and into the week ahead, it's a little bit easier to be that best version of yourself energetically and mentally and emotionally. So that's where we're headed today. This is Shanti, if you've not practiced with her before. This is Musketeer, and I'm Mikki. And we're going to get started in a comfortable seat this morning. Cross-legged, crisscross applesauce is a great option if that's comfortable in your body. And then let's bring your hands down to your lap and let's go palms face up this morning. If you need to keep petting one of your fur children, maybe one hand stays there. And take a moment to get nice and tall in your spine and really heavy and comfortable in your seat. Hello, yes. Let your eyes close if that's comfortable. And let's begin this ritual of settling into our practice. This ritual of breathing. Let's begin to feel your breath move into the body. And begin to feel your breath move out. And you might find as you settle in here that the breath feels really sort of isolated or limited to a couple spots, maybe really high up in the body. And over time here, as you continue, just this repetitive ritual of breathing. Start to invite that breath to travel and move a little more freely within you. A little less isolated or quarantined to just a specific spot in your body. A little bit more free to move. And then within this breath, wherever your hands are, wherever they've ended up for you, I want you just to take the thumb and the index finger. And as you inhale, you're going to ever so slowly draw them to touch. Just a very light tap of those fingertips together, the pads of the fingers. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw them back apart and open. And let's do that a few times with the breath. Maybe you pet your cat in between. So take the entire length of your inhale to pull the thumb and the index fingers to tap and touch. The entire length of your exhale to let them spread apart. And if the index finger doesn't feel like the right finger for you to do that, you could do this with any of your fingers, right? It could be thumb and middle finger, thumb and ring finger. Just find that really slow physical movement that aligns with the breath, of bringing those fingers to touch and then letting them open back up. About 2 more times here. And then the next time you inhale, let's pull all of those fingers in, just form fists with your hands, maybe even curl those fists in towards your forearms just a bit. And as you exhale, open all of those fingers, spread through the palms. And let's just turn your palms down onto your knees. As you inhale, let's pull the belly and the heart forward, a little seated cow pose. You can look up toward the sky if you'd like. And then exhale, round your spine back. Let the head fall forward, little seated cat pose. A couple rounds here. Inhale, seated cow, which is a really funny mental image. Exhale, seated cat. And let's do that 2 more times, feeling the entirety of your spine moving from tailbone through the back of the neck. And then let's bring yourself to center between cat and cow, some hybrid of the two. Just a tall, long spine. And let's just lean back and recross your legs. And let's bring your hands directly out to your sides on sort of little tented fingertips. Really press the ground away with those hands. There's a sense of the hands instead of sort of kind of hanging out there. Sense of the ground helping you lift up, and you're sort of moving, pressing those fingers away from you. We're going to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder and keep really pressing out through that right hand. Breathe into the sensations you find there and encourage and inspire a bit of release in that right side of the neck, kind of that whole line from the jaw, down the neck, into the shoulder, into the upper arm. And then let the chin fall in toward the chest. We're going to do that same thing, right ear to right shoulder. Give a little down and away press through that left hand. Breathe into what you find here and notice, I mean, at least for me, how asymmetrical I am side to side in terms of my tension. And then go ahead and let the chin come back to your chest. And all I want you to do is take your hands, and we're going to keep them exactly where they're at in terms of side to side, but I want you to drag them back maybe 2 or 3 inches if you've got that. And then let's do that again. Left ear to left shoulder and just see how that changes the sensation for you. Soften into what needs to be softened into. And then chin back to chest, right ear, right shoulder. Let that breath continue to freely travel throughout your body. And then chin back to chest. Go ahead and let your head float up on top of your spine. Let's take those arms wide and all the way up to the sky. Press the palms together and exhale, hands down into your heart. Let's do that one more time. Wide, wide reach. Tall lift up toward the ceiling and hands to heart. From here, we're going to roll over into hands and knees. It's time for the fur children to vacate the mat. Coming into your table pose. Ideally, your knees under your hips and your hands and wrists below your shoulders. And let's take that seated cat-cow shape we did, but now into its more traditional lineup. So dropping the belly as you breathe in, letting the heart lift, and exhale, spine rounds, let the head fall forward. Couple times back and forth here, belly down, head lifts. Exhale, rounding. Just like when we were seated, inviting the spine to move in its entirety from top to bottom. And let's take one more round into cow here. And then we're going to come into cat one more time. As you find that cat, let's dome up onto the tips of your fingers. Let the head fall. Let that spine really, really round. And then let the palms flatten. Come back into that table shape, which is that halfway point between your cat and your cow. Right? So it's neither too kind of domed toward the ground, neither too domed toward the sky, just a little bit of both. It's like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, just right. We're going to take your right leg, stretch it back, press the toes into the ground and press back through your heel. And then we're just going to slide that right leg behind you. So it crosses behind the left leg. Look over your left shoulder toward that right foot. And take some deep breaths into that right waist. I like to think of it as the supple area between the structure of your ribs and the structure of your pelvis. And then we'll bring that right leg back behind you. As you bring it behind you, go ahead and let it float off the ground now. And as you inhale, let's take a little bit of a cow shape. Let the belly drop, let the leg lift any amount. As you exhale, round your spine, bring the knee in toward the nose. And let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, get long. You can either just keep it parallel to the ground, or if it feels okay, you can take it into a little bit of a back bend today. And then exhale, round. Use the rounding of your spine to bring that knee in. And one more time, elongate and bring it in. And we'll let that right shin come on down into your table shape. Let's take one just regular round of cow and a regular round of cat. Back into your table, long, long spine. We'll take the left leg back, toes on the ground. Press back through that heel, feel that elongation through the back of the leg. And we're going to drag that left leg behind you, put the toes on the ground. Look over your right shoulder and take some of those deep breaths into that outer left side body. And then bring that leg back behind you. As it comes behind you, let the leg lift off the ground if that feels okay. You're in control of if you want to keep it really neutral and kind of core focused, or if you want to take it into a little bit of extension, up to you. And then round your spine, bring it in. Inhale, kick back, maybe also up. Exhale, bring it in. And we'll let that leg come on down into your table shape. And one more time, let's find your cow. We're going to tuck your toes under, root into each and every knuckle, and hips to the sky, downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, let's take a couple moments there, just like your 4-legged friends getting out of bed, to stretch a little bit, to pedal the legs, to press back into the heels, or maybe bend the knees. To let your head and your heart really lengthen toward the ground. And then inhale, let's rise up high onto the tippy toes and the balls of both feet. And then exhale, let those heels lower and drop. Let's do that 2 more times. Rise up. And heels drop. Try to press into every single knuckle of your hands. Notice where the weight is going. 1 more time. Lifting and lowering. And then let's take your right foot, step it a little forward, maybe 6 inches, bend that right knee, and then we're going to swivel the hips, point your right knee toward the left, Press back, back, back into that left hip, left leg. And then we'll do that the same thing in the second side. Left foot steps forward. We're going to walk ourselves all the way forward to the mat, but with this little sassy down walk, down dog walk. So as you step the foot forward, go ahead and spin the knees toward the sides. When it's right foot forward, knees spin left. And just keep that going all the way forward until you're in your forward fold. Obviously, my side body's a little tight this morning, so you're getting a little bit of that too. Bend your knees, let the head fall, let the arms fall. Maybe a little sway side to side. We're going to bend your knees a lot and roll up inch by inch by inch, all the way to standing. As you get upright, just take a couple shrugs of your shoulders before you bring those hands to the sky. And then let the hands come up. Let the palms turn to face each other. And let's close the eyes or drop the gaze. Couple breaths here. Imagine that you're hanging from a monkey bar, pull-up bar, a rafter. Let things really elongate throughout your body. And then let those palms join together overhead. Exhale, hands down into your heart. Inhale, you can either take the arms wide or forward, up to you. Hands to the sky. Palms join together again. This time we'll bend your knees, let your body fold and drape over your legs. Fingers to shins. Let's inhale, lift up halfway. Just let those fingers glide up the legs. The heart goes forward, the head goes forward. And then exhale, glide and fold right back down. Root into your feet. Inhale, let's rise up, reach up. This little sequence is called a half sun salutation. Palms join together, hands down into your heart. These little mini sequences that feel familiar, that give us ritual in our practice. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding. I also think this one provides a nice cadence to breath and movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel that length of the spine. And then exhale, bow and fold. Rise up, reach up as you breathe in. And hands to heart. Let's maintain that cadence, that space, but add on a little bit. Hands go up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Inhale. And then we'll fold with your exhale. Right foot's going to stay where it is. Left leg steps back. Let's go ahead and angle that back heel down to the ground if that feels okay. Let those toes spin out. We're just going to sneak your hands onto that front thigh. As you exhale, let's push into that thigh. Dome your spine like cat. Really press back through that back leg. And then inhale, let the belly drop. Let the heart lift. Move those shoulders back. Let's do that 2 more times. Press into the thigh, round. Inhale, belly down. Head and heart up. So it's cat-cow, but in your lunge. One more time. And then as you exhale, let's start to gather that belly into the back. Just find your neutral spine. So again, halfway between that cat and cow shape, not too domed in either direction. Take your hands, reach them back. Let the shoulders move on to the back of your body. And then inhale, shoulders over hips, hands to the sky. And exhale, hands come down around your front foot. Come onto the ball of that back foot. It does not need to be graceful. Find your downward facing dog. And as always in our practice, you have the invitation to be still for a bit, to stay. Maybe you take some cat-cow in your table pose instead of down dog. Or if you want to keep moving, inhale, plank, top of a push-up. Knees up or down. We're going to lower to the belly as those elbows point straight back. This is called chaturanga. On the belly there, untuck your toes, press into your feet. Lift your heart off the ground as your shoulders slide down and back. Baby cobra. Exhale, back to the belly, forehead toward the ground. We'll press into hands and knees, come up table. And downward facing dog. If you're newer to this and that all seems like a lot, there's going to be a lot of repetition of what we just did. So it'll begin to feel more familiar, more comfortable. If and when it makes sense, let's take that left leg to the sky and step your left foot forward between your hands. Again, we're going to ground that back heel. Let those back toes angle out. Sneak your hands up onto your front thigh. Once you're ready, we'll press into your hands, round your spine. And then inhale, let the belly drop toward that front thigh. Let the heart move forward, lift the head any amount. So 2 more times, cat-cow in your lunge here. Rounding with your exhale. It's the natural shape of the breath. Inhale, belly drops, heart glides forward. 1 more time. From that next inhale, try to keep the length that this creates here, but bring the belly into the back body, finding that neutral shape and space again. Hands reach back. Shoulders over hips, hands to the sky. Inhale. And hands around your front foot as you exhale. We'll step into your front foot, bring your back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward. Rise up, reach up as you breathe in. And hands to heart as you breathe out. Settling here, feel your breath move in to the entirety of your space. And feel your breath move out. Notice where the breath is being compartmentalized. Notice where it is traveling, where it's not traveling. We are born knowing how to breathe. This breathing process of free breathing happens very naturally as babies. But in the complexity of our adultness, we sometimes have to get out of the way of this breath. Sometimes even learn how to breathe all over again. When you're ready, let's take your hands, reach them up. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift with your breath in. This time as you fold, we'll take your right leg back first this time. Again, we're going to let that back heel spin down to the ground, those back toes spin out. Let's bring your hands onto that front thigh. And this time we're going to try to find that neutral line of your body right away. So again, belly's not collapsing, but it's also not overly rounded into the back. Freedom of breath, kind of a sense of freedom along the spine. Stay here if you're happy. If you want a little bit more work, take the hands off the thighs, reach the hands back. If you're feeling strong and like you want even more challenge this morning, hands go forward. Now, as those hands go forward, it's pretty common just to let the belly get into that kind of archy shape again. Strong, strong core. And then wherever you're at, shoulders over hips, hands to the sky. And exhale, hands down around your front foot. Back you go. Downward facing dog. Again, you have the invitation to stay and remain, or let's come forward to plank. We're going to be here for a couple breaths. You have the choice to keep the knees lifted or put the knees down. I'm going to put my knees down with those of you that are. Let's close the eyes for a couple breaths. And very, very subtly in your low back, as you breathe in, feel that fullness of the belly, maybe even just the slightest suggestion of cow. Don't overdo it. We're not trying to create a big shape, just a little soft suggestion. And then as you exhale, feel that belly hollow, slightest suggestion of cat. One more breath here like that. Just a little rock in that pelvis. Little cow shape. As you breathe in, little cat as you breathe out. And then as you inhale, try to find your in-between place between those two. Long front body, long back body. Knees up or down, we'll bend your elbows straight back. Try to keep that length up your spine the whole way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale into that little baby cobra shape. Some of you maybe press into your hands, lift higher. Back to the belly. Press into hands and knees, come up, table, and downward facing dog. From that down dog shape, we'll take your right leg, lift it up to the sky. And then any way that works for you, right foot forward between the hands. Back heel comes to the ground. Hands onto that front thigh. Take a moment to find that strong, long, supported spine. Hands stay on the thigh for support or reach them back. And then that option is there to reach them forward. But again, more is not always more. Put something into your body right now that allows it to be the best version of itself. More releasing instead of more creating of tension, of holding. Wherever you're at, shoulders over hips, hands come up. Exhale, hands to the floor. We'll step forward, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up. And hands to heart. Full breath in. Full breath out. As you inhale the next time, let's bend your knees, sit back into your Sunday morning chair pose. Hands to the sky. Exhale, we're going to bring your hands to your heart. Lean, twist, tap your left elbow to your right thigh, and then just get out of there. Inhale, right back up. Go ahead and stand all the way up. Exhale, let's sit back and do the other side. Exhale, sit, right elbow, left thigh. Inhale, back up. We're going to go back side to side there, alternating, exhaling into the twist, inhaling up. Those of you who want more challenge this morning, you stay in chair in between, legs stay bent. Try not to rush. Try not to use momentum. Just nice and steady, like those finger taps as we got started. The entire exhale to come into that rotation. The entire inhale to lift up and out. Let's do one more each side. And then let's come on up to standing. Reach your hands skyward. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Pull up and over toward the right. Root down into that left foot. Back up to center. Switch the wrist grab. Left hand grabbing right wrist up and over toward the left. Back up to center. And let's fold. Your right foot's going to stay at the top of your mat. Take your left leg, step it back. Make sure the ball of the foot and the toes are in a comfortable place. So not too far back, not too close. Just right. Left hand is going to go below your shoulder. Those of you that maybe have some blocks, and it would be helpful, you might put a block under that left hand. And then we're going to take your right hand up toward the sky. As you exhale, we're going to bring that right arm back down. It's going to loop under your right thigh. And we're going to bend that back knee toward the ground. Okay? And we're going to move in and out of that. So as you inhale, back leg straightens, right hand goes up. Exhale, bring it in. 2 more. Inhale, expand. Exhale, bring it in. One more time, expand. And bring it in. And then let that right hand just come outside the right foot. Let's step that back foot in a smidge until that back heel can get down, toes spin out. We'll come on up facing the front of your mat. So it's warrior one. Front knee is bent, back heel is grounded if that's comfortable. And then let's take your hands back behind you. Let's clasp thumbs or all of the fingers. Knuckles toward the ground, heart toward the sky. Really root into that back foot. Let's begin to bow forward toward that front thigh, any amount. Those of you that this does not feel great, you've been here before with hands on that front thigh, come back to it. If that clasp feels okay, keep it. Some of you, maybe that head starts to fall down inside your right shin. Last full breath here. Root into that back foot a little bit more. And then let your hands come on down around your front foot. Let that back heel lift. Let's step it back into your downward facing dog. Always, always the invitation to be. If you want to keep moving, plank, inhale. Knees up or down, we'll lower. Try to keep that neutral place in your body and your spine between cat and cow. Inhale, cobra of any height. Back to the belly. Press on up. Let's return to downward facing dog. As you return to your down dog, let's take that right leg up any amount. You're welcome to stay here. Or as you exhale, let your shoulders come over your wrists, bring your knee in towards your nose, like you're going to kiss the knee. And you might. And then up and back. Let's do that 2 more times. Use the shape of cat to help bring that knee forward. And then inhale, lengthen. Last time, bring it forward. And lengthen. And then this time we'll do that same movement, same strength work, but step your foot forward between your hands. Then let your left leg come forward as well. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, come up chair. We're coming right back into that alternating twist. So as you exhale, let's go right elbow, left thigh. Inhale, you can stand up or sit up in between. Exhale, left elbow, right thigh. Steady, steady with your breath. Let's go 1 more each side. As you exhale, go ahead and fold over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. We'll fold as you exhale, right leg steps back. Make sure you're comfortable with where the ball of that right foot is. Right hand under your shoulder. Left hand to the sky. As you exhale, swoop that left arm under your left thigh. Bend your back knee, let it come down toward the ground. And then inhale, expand. Back leg straightens, left hand goes up. Couple more there, bring it in. Inhale, expand. We do 2 more. And then let that left hand come down outside your left foot. Bring that back heel down to the ground. Right toes spin out. Come on up, warrior one. We'll bring the hands back behind you into thumbs or all of the fingers clasping. You can stay upright if you'd like, or keeping a lot of effort in that back leg. Let's begin to bow forward. Remember, you could bring your hands to that front thigh if that's a better option for you today, or finding this humble warrior shape. Head falls toward that left calf. Power is coming from the connection of your back foot to the ground. And then let those hands come down around the front foot. Back you go, downward facing dog. Feel your breath move into your body. Feel your breath move out. Maybe you stay and spend some time with the breath. Maybe you take that breath with you into your plank, that chaturanga toward the ground, your back bend, and that return to downward facing dog. From your down dog, left leg will lift. If it's too much, keep the foot on the ground. If the crunching forward work is too much, stay here. Or exhale, shoulders over wrists, round the spine. Bring that knee in. Inhale, kick the leg up and back. 2 more. Bring it in. And lengthen. Bring it in. And lengthen. Use that same catting of the spine to step that left foot all the way forward, and then bring your right foot forward as well. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let's fold and linger. Maybe your feet wiggle a little wider. Maybe you grab opposite elbows or forearms. Maybe you take a little sway side to side. And then bend your knees quite a bit. Let's roll up inch by inch by inch. Couple shrugs of those shoulders at the top. Maybe a little pant pull up. And then let's bring hand to belly, hand to heart. Close your eyes or drop the gaze. Feel your breath. Feel the beat of your heart. And then let your eyes blink open if they're closed. Find a still point in front of you for those eyes to settle upon. I want you just to shift into that right foot. Super, super simple balance here. Left leg comes up. No hands. Just keep your hands on belly and heart. I could actually care less about the balance. I want you to try to maintain the fullness, the fluidity, the ease of your breath as you embrace the challenge of standing on one foot. And then put that left foot down. Shift into the left foot. Let your right knee come up. Feel the fullness of your breath, very specifically in that low back, right? That really subtle, almost rock of cat-cow in your pelvis. in that lowest part of your spine that's purely inspired by this freedom of your breath in, this freedom of your breath out. Let that right foot come on down. 2 hands to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, let's fold. We're going to bend your knees enough that your hands can get flat on the ground, and we're going to step your feet back into plank with a smile on your face. So hands to start. Knees can be up or down, your choice. I'm going to put mine down for this first round. You get to do this twice. I want you to try to maintain your body in the shape that you're created here. We're going to try to minimize side to side movement, try to minimize wiggles and rotations. And I want you to replace your right hand with your right elbow, nice and slow. Left hand with left elbow, nice and slow. Big full breath in here. And full breath out. Replace right elbow with right hand. How minimal can the shenanigans be? Left elbow, left hand. Downward facing dog. Right foot to the sky. As you take that right foot to the sky, let's bend that right knee. Keep your body as it is. Bring your right knee toward your heart. So don't move forward. Just bring that leg in. Point your right knee toward the right. And then sweep that knee up toward the sky. And then again, bring the knee forward. This time we'll step that foot all the way forward between your hands. Come up into your lunge, your crescent pose. Back heel can be off the ground. Let's lean forward. Take your hands, reach them back. Stay here or come on up to fly. Warrior 3, aka airplane pose. Whether you're in that leaning lunge or flying, feel that fullness in your low belly. Breathe in. That fullness of your breath, pulling, emptying out the belly. One more full breath here. Those of you that want more challenge, more depth this morning, hands go forward. And then bend that front knee, step all the way back into your lunge. This will be a new pose for those of you that are newer to practice this morning. We'll drop that back heel. We're going to open your shoulders toward the long edge of the mat. Right hand forward, left hand back. Warrior 2. As you inhale, all I want you to do is turn your palms up. You can kind of place them. As you exhale, let's turn those palms down. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, palms down. How about one more time? Palms up. And palms down. Let's keep your back palm, your left palm facing down. Turn that right palm up. And let's reverse. Left hand down the back leg. Right hand reaches up and back. Your head can be either pointing up, gaze up, sideways or down. 2 hands to the ground as you exhale. Back heel lifts. Let's step forward, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up. Wade into that right foot, left knee comes up. Maybe stay here, maybe play with straightening that left leg, any amount. And then bend. Left foot to bottom, to butt. Reach back with your left hand. Stay here. Or left foot pushes into the hand, dancer pose. Just one full breath. Release that foot to the ground. 2 hands to the sky. Palms joined together. Exhale, hands into your heart. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Close your eyes or drop the gaze. Feel your breath. Last round of standing postures. 2 hands go up. Fold, 2 hands go down. Bend your knees enough that the hands can find the floor. We'll step back, left foot, then right foot into your plank. Knees up or down, your choice. Let's replace your left hand with your left elbow. Try to keep things as steady as possible. Right hand, right elbow. Full breath in. Full breath out. Left elbow replaced by left hand. Right elbow replaced by right hand. Downward facing dog. Left foot lifts. As that leg lifts, keep everything as it is, but just bend your left knee. Keep your body in down dog, but bring that left knee in toward the heart. Then turn it out toward the side and scoot that left knee all the way up toward the ceiling. And then left foot forward between your hands. Come up, crescent lunge. As you're ready, let's lean forward, hands reach back. Let the shoulders come onto the back of your body there. If 2 feet on the ground is best for you today, stay or come on up, taking flight. What I want you to prioritize over how high that back leg is, how well you're balancing, is just that connection, that sense of that pulse of your breath in that low back there. Maybe 2 hands go forward, up to you. Bend your front knee, step back. Let that back heel ground. We'll open your shoulders toward the long edge of the mat, warrior 2. Inhale, palms turn toward the sky. Exhale, palms turn down. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, palms down. One more time. We're going to end up with the back palm facing down, the front palm facing up. We'll reverse. Right hand down the back leg, left hand reaching up and back. And then 2 hands around your front foot. Back heel lifts, we'll step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Hands to heart, right knee to chest. Final home stretch here. Any amount. Doesn't have to be super high. Right knee bends. Bring the foot to the back side. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you reach back with that right hand and stay here. 2 final breaths. Maybe push the foot into the hand. Take dancer pose. Sometimes you dance. And then release. Foot to the ground. 2 hands go up. Exhale, let's fold. As you find that folded forward shape, let's bend your 2 knees enough again that the hands can get to the ground. We're going to step your left leg back. Wiggle your right foot to the right edge of your mat. Right hand comes inside the right foot. And let's bring your back knee down to the ground for a softer, slightly easier, air quotes, easier lizard pose. Those of you that have blocks or maybe some books laying around, you might make this a little easier on yourself with hands on blocks. I'm also going to give the option for anyone that's comfortable with it to come down onto your forearms and elbows. And we'll linger here for a little bit. Go ahead and let the head fall. Lizard is one of those poses that people either seem to love and adore or generally dislike. If you fall in that dislike category, it's not about either just completely canceling the pose or about kind of beating it, if you will, in terms of making it work for you. The practice here is to find space, even in something that is maybe uncomfortable, maybe challenging. Maybe turning it into your breath there to get that process started and seeing where the breath's flowing and where it's not. And is there a way in the places where the breath's not flowing to shift, to move, to adjust, to create space? If you're on elbows, come on back up to hands. And we're going to switch to the other side. So you can either step forward and then step back, or you can go back to table and shift. Up to you. Left leg forward, right leg back. You want that left foot outside your left hand. And you're just going to settle into your second side. So hands or forearms. Blocks or no blocks, books work great. And settle in. Just take 2 more really full breaths here. And then we'll push the hands down into the floor. And let's all shift back now. And we're going to come to seated. Back into that cross-legged seat, just like we started class. As you find that seat, let's take left hand outside right knee. Right hand back behind you. Continue to encourage that breath to travel all the way down, deeply, deeply along the spine. Let your gaze turn to look over your back shoulder. And then let your gaze turn to look over your front shoulder. We'll go ahead and untwist and just do that same thing to the second side. Right hand outside your left knee, left hand behind you. Twists by their nature are constricting. So can you find space within that constriction to continue to ebb and flow, to find that fullness of the movement of your breath? Let's turn your gaze to look over the back shoulder. Turn your gaze to look over your front shoulder. Go ahead and untwist. Lean back, recross your legs. Hands on legs, let's go palms up. Close your eyes. Drop your gaze, whatever feels comfortable. Find your height of your spine. Inhale, let's pull thumb and index fingertips to touch, or whichever two fingers feels just right in your hands today. Exhale, slowly let them open back up. You can stay with the same finger. You can kind of work your way up and down the hands. But I want you just to establish a pattern there. A couple more rounds. Breathe in. Let the fingers just barely touch. Exhale. Let those fingers open. Let's take one more round of breath here. And then we're going to ease ourselves down onto our back. Nice and easy. Just try not to get distracted along the way. And just bring it down and knees into your chest. Heaviness of your low back into the ground, the suppleness of your abdomen and the movement of breath that exists there. Just move both hands over to that right leg. Let your left leg release out onto the ground. And then release that right leg. Take your arms up overhead. Long, long stretch through the body. And bring your left knee in. Reach down. One breath here. And release. Left leg out, arms overhead. One more really long stretch through the body. And then let your legs just flop open. And let's take your arms up toward the sky. And we'll lower the arms beside you so that the palms face skyward. Big full breath in. And as you exhale, let everything release. Invite yourself to take rest. Let's begin to take a fuller breath in. And a little more complete breath out. And if in the deeper breath you find yourself craving, needing, wanting more time here, the day is yours. Stay a little longer and take some more rest. If you're ready to head into the rest of your day, just start to find some soft, easy movement in the body to wake the body back up. And over time, with no rush, as that movement is ready to bring you to a side and eventually up to a comfortable seat, easily bring yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Within that seat, let's bring your hands together, palm to palm in front of your heart. And take a few moments here to kind of as intentionally as you moved into this practice today, begin to move into the practice of life. Maybe setting an intention, maybe setting your breath, setting your head space and your heart space. Thank you all so much for practicing together this morning. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your Sunday morning practice. We'll be back on Saturday morning next week and throughout September. Next Saturday morning is Jamie leading your flow. And then it'll just be every Saturday through September. Thank you, Karen. Glad you were here with us. If you would like to make a donation for class and haven't done that yet, the information to do that is in the description of the class. Venmo is Thanks for Yoga. PayPal is yogaandbeerthanks@gmail.com. And I think that's everything. I hope that you enjoy your day. Thank you, Howard. Oh no, I'm sorry about the internet. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate you all. Oops. I will see you all very soon, hopefully. I'm going to enjoy my coffee, but we're not really sure if it's coffee or it's beer. We'll never know. Thank you, Jessica. Namaste. All right. Thank you, Mother. Yay, Cheryl and Jerry. Thanks, Flamingos. All right. Happy Sunday, everyone. And we'll see you soon. Bye.